Hello, thank you for watching our videos to learn what Sashiko is for us. One of the frequent questions I receive is how to keep the thread in a good condition. Well, more frankly speaking, it is about how to avoid an unfortunate accident, which is getting the thread tangled. I hope this video will help you to prevent that sad experience. You would need good Sashiko thread that we recommend, scissors, and scotch tape. This is more like a quick solution. To learn other ways to keep the thread in a good condition, please check other two videos talking about making the Sashiko thread bobbins and thread cards. The link is listed on the description. Let's talk about Sashiko thread here again. I recommend mainly these Sashiko threads. I use the thread on the left side, the large skein one, for most of my Sashiko projects. We have many colors, both synthetic dye and natural dye. I started using the thread on the right side, the small skein, to answer some requests from audience who wish to use the thinner threads. After using them for a year or so and repeating tries and errors, we are happy to recommend this thinner thread as well. All of the Sashiko threads we have on our website, upcyclestitches.com, are good for Sashiko stitching. One of the characteristics of good Sashiko thread for Sashiko stitching means the threads have very unique twists. As I have been introducing the difference between Sashiko thread and other type of threads, there are many reasons we call it Sashiko thread. Thread does make a difference. Thread does matter. If you are wondering why your stitches do not like ours, the thread may be the quick remedy for your question. Please also check another video about what is the difference between Sashiko thread and other threads. The link is on the description as well. Because of the unique twist, the thread is, unfortunately, very easy to get tangled. The threads are packed as one continuous thread, either 145 meter or 40 meters. Therefore, when we try to pull the thread without any preparation, it will most likely to be tangled thread ball. The tangled thread ball is still usable for Sashiko stitching, however, it will be a lot more troublesome. So, let's jump to the main topic today. Here's a quick and easy solution for that. First, unskein the thread to one big loop. The one continuous thread is rounded and stopped by this small loop. You may ignore the small loop thread stopper and cut the thread at any point of the loop as the video shows. It is like a one loop of thread to one bunch of threads. After you cut the thread once, please tape the both ends so that thread will not separate by themselves. After securing the both ends of thread, you may pull thread out from the bunch of threads. Pulling this thread shouldn't be that difficult at all, and the other bunch of thread will not be tangled at all because of the secured edges with scotch tape. After you pull the one thread, you may use a paper bobbin to keep the thread in a good shape. The paper bobbin can be anything. A piece of paper, piece of cardboard is perfectly fine. Not necessary, but recommended though. By the way, this is not related to the main topic of how to avoid an unfortunate accident of tangled thread. I will introduce how the skein is made out of the thread loop. It may not be something new or unique for those who are familiar with the thread. However, it is good to share as much information as possible in order to pass down the culture, I believe. When we dye the Sashiko thread, we cannot dye the thread in the form of a skein. We dye thread with the thread in the form of big loop, which is the same form right before the cutting thread that I introduced in this video. After thread dyeing is completed, we manually make a skein as the video shows. Dyeing is manually done by hands, making skeins is manually done by hands, packaging them is also manually done by hands. It would be appreciated if you could understand a subtle difference of each thread. Let me share a fable small story. A company made a goal to make 10,000 items and sell it to 10,000 customers. In order to get 100% satisfaction from the customers, the company decided to make 10,010 items with considering 0.1% defect rate. The number is logic. If there is a 0.1% of the defect rate, we have to prepare to replace that. This is a very true statement in terms of productivity. However, a Japanese company decided to make the defect rate to 0%, although it certainly is inefficient to do so. They decided to make 10,000 items with no defective items, and the productivity would go down because of this goal. The point here is not the power of statistics. If you are interested, please pause the video here and try to think why the Japanese people came up with the inefficient goal like that. The Japanese company thought like this. Yes, the deficient rate is only 0.1%. 10 items over 10,000 items are not that significant. However, for one customer, one defective item is 100% defective. It is our identity to deliver the 100% products to the 100% customers. I feel the same way in Sashiko. Therefore, we try to do everything manually with caring as much as possible. Alright, let's come back to the main topic. As you have been watching, the same process of cutting one place of thread loop goes to the bigger skein as well. The same process, the same idea. Some may want to cut the thread with the desirable length for each Sashiko project. This may not be the ideal solution for those who wish to have the specific length in the Sashiko stitching. Also, when we take care of the variegated color thread, this may not be the ideal solution because sometimes we want to have the continuous colors as variegated. If you wish to not to cut the thread as I shared in this video, please check the other two videos of how to make thread bobbins and thread balls. I understand that some of us do not want to tape the edge. In that case, we can braid the thread. I am not very good at braiding the threads, but here we go. In braiding, we need to cut the small loop off. It can be before or after cutting the thread's big loop. The small loop can be a part of the main 145 or 40 meters continuous thread, so make sure to cut it off. Then fold the thread into half and hang it on the wall or S-shaped hanger. After that, you may know better. The same way to make a braiding with long hair. After completion of the braiding, you may pull one thread from the top of the braided thread. For the idea of braiding, it may be a good idea to braid several colors of Sashiko thread together. Let's look at it again for the last time. Cut the small loop of the thread off, then cut one point of threads to make a bunch of threads. Instead of taping the edges, fold the threads into half and hang it somewhere together. I combined the white pink together and made a braid. Here, I show the exact same process with another same Sashiko thread, just different color, which is pink. I find it difficult to explain this process in words. I hope the video of me actually doing it is helpful resource. Alright, this is the end of the video. I hope this video will help you to avoid a sad and unfortunate accident. It is always good to have a bunch of Sashiko threads ready for your stitching. We also have some threads card prepared. For more information about the products we offer, please visit upcyclestitches.com. Thank you.